Mike, would you like to do the roll call?
Yeah. Sam Bossum,
Here.
Charles Tucker's not here. Michael Zarino here. Christine Murphy,
Here.
Sarah Collantine,
Here.
Donna Doxson,
Here.
Ryan Pazer.
Here.
Thank you very much. Are there any public comments on agenda items? Are there any public comments on non-agenda items? No? Okay. Are there any amendments to the agenda? Good. Approval for minutes, previous minutes, all in favor?
We need a motion, I think.
I'll
Oh, I'm
make a
sorry.
motion to approve it.
Thank you.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the minutes are approved. Moving to the staff updates. Gina, would you like to go first?
Sure. Let's see, we have winter camp during the 2-week period when the kids are off school. It's December 23rd, and then not the 24th or 25th, because those are holidays. And then, sorry, the 26th through the 30th. And then Thursday and Friday, January 2nd and 3rd. That program will take place here because it's starting while we're still in this building. Activities plan, crafts, games, athletics, and we're doing field trips to Waterworks Indoor Pool and Suburbanite Bowl. Fall camp was held the week of Thanksgiving, the 25th, 26th, and 27th. We had a total of 30 registrations for that week. And last year, we had 18, so we were definitely up. Early childhood, our Little Learners Club is averaging usually about 30 kids each week. The week of Christmas, that we will have a Little Learners Club that's in the style of mini camp. So we just kind of make a little bit of change there on the days, the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, that it meets on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so that the dates that we don't have holidays, which I think is just the 26th and the 2nd. Seniors, we had 15 programs in November, 333 people in attendance. Athletics and fitness, we have 259 in the Conquer the Court 3-on-3 basketball. And last year, we had 182. And the year before that, 138. And the year before that, 109. So it has progressed nicely. And we had a really nice turnout for this year at 259. Skills training is happening now. Evening practices are scheduled at Jackson, Jefferson, and York Center, and at ICC, specifically for the younger kids, because we have the only gym that you can lower the hoops to 8 feet. And then in January, we'll move to the new rec center. Let's see. We have 11 more teams this year than we had last year, so that's what those extra kids brought in. We are looking ahead to summer athletic and aquatic staffing needs. We start that now because we want to get ahead of that, and we usually will start promoting that end of January and into February to start recruiting staff for the pools. As we move into events, we had the holiday train ride just this last Saturday. We were sold out at 138 participants. Last year, we had 125. There were a couple people that didn't show up due to illnesses, and one family that missed, and we didn't know about that. So, saw nice things written on Facebook by some participants. So that went really well, and people seemed happy. We had pictures with Santa Paws on December 7th. We had 11 different appointments for that day. Last year we had 19, so we had some fewer this year. A visit from Santa is Saturday, December 14th. We have 18 participants registered. Last year we had 19. Letters from Santa, that registration deadline is December 6th. We have 29 participants registered for that, and we had 9 last year. And then phone calls from Santa is Friday, December 13th. We have 6 participants registered. Last year, we had 5. So I think that there's a little bit more magic in the letter than in the actual call. Maybe some kids don't want to talk on the phone. It's hard to say. I did want to report on the number of memberships that we have sold for the new fitness center at the Villa Park Recreation Center. We're at 67. And the total dollars is $8,393. The winter spring brochure is out. The electronic copy is on the website. It's at the printer also. It was delayed a little bit because we made a few changes with the grand opening for the rec center. That date, the rec center will open on January 3rd, but the ribbon cutting will be on the 13th of January. Due to the legislators being in session, they couldn't make it on the 3rd. So we were able to get that change done before it got to the stage where we would have to have paid for a whole nother proof. So I had originally thought we'd have the paper copies in hand by Friday, but it's definitely going to be next week because we delayed it a little bit. The other thing I wanted to just briefly talk about is some of our new hires and that go along with the new programs. We have a new contractor for ceramics, contractor for some cooking classes, Sticky Fingers cooking for the younger kids. We have a couple of classes, soap making, that's a contracted program. And then Glitzy Girls, that's a contractor that we've used before. They're doing 2 new things in this upcoming session. We are working with a chef from College of DuPage who's going to come in and teach cooking classes. So we have, I think, 5 of those. We have been without a dog trainer for a couple years now. We have a new dog trainer on board. And we'll be starting up and having classes February, March, and then again in April, May. We also have, I'm sorry, these are the adult cooking classes. We have at least 2 or 3 cooking classes for adults. Those classes will start in February. Also for adults, we have someone coming in and doing a sip and paint party. I haven't worked out all the details on how that's going to go at the center, but I feel very confident that we will be able to work it out. We have a couple new classes that aren't necessarily with new staff, but Todd from the fire department is going to come in and do first aid and CPR and offer that to the public. And then Tony from Michael Anthony's is going to do a cooking local class in February as well. We're in the process of hiring at least, well, for right now, 2 new fitness instructors, which will equal 8 new classes between the 2 of them. So we're very excited about that. In athletics, we also have interviewed a personal trainer that we will be able to offer some personal training for the folks that have memberships. And then there will be an option to, I think, take personal training if you don't have a membership, but the fee will be higher to do so. We're doing business with some new athletic contractors, and that is equaling intros to basketball, soccer, t-ball, floor hockey, and speed and agility. So we're excited about that. And a new contractor for volleyball. The Chicago Elite Volleyball Club will be leading some 4-week sessions for us. So we are accomplishing some of what we want to out of the gate, and then there's some things that we have planned that will happen in, forthcoming in the months to come. So it's been a busy time, but good, busy, good trouble. And we're very excited. We have deliveries coming this week, next week. We're excited to get into the new building, so I will leave the details to these gentlemen over here because I don't want to steal their thunder. But that's recreation. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yes, Gina, I'm sorry, could you repeat the date of the ribbon cutting? I thought you said the 13th.
I did.
It's a Monday?
It is a Monday.
Okay.
I know that the village manager last night talked about moving the COW. That was originally scheduled for the 13th, I believe, to the 27th. Does that sound correct?
Yep.
And the reason why that date was chosen is because we're trying to work with the legislators to be there for the ribbon cutting. We received a $10 million grant, so the legislators, played a role in that, and we would like them to be a part of that part of the festivities.
We were shooting for the 3rd, when we were going to open, but Matt found out that the legislators are going to be in Springfield.
I just thought it was going to be a Friday.
Yeah.
Well, the 3rd's a Friday, open for business,
Yes.
Yeah. Which
which feels celebratory for us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Are they going to have an open house for the public prior to the ribbon cutting, or is it going to?
You're getting like Gina stealing my thunder.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that because I knew Greg wanted to talk
Okay.
about it. Can we answer him?
I can wait.
I can tell you now, but.
Hold that question.
Yeah, I'll wait for that question to be answered later. The 67 memberships that were sold, did you find a majority going individual, more towards family?
I can tell you. Let's see, adult monthly ongoing was 3, adult paid in full was 5, 6 couples ongoing, 6 couples paid in full. Family of 3 or more was 3. Senior, non-resident, track only, 1. Senior resident, 6-month membership, 2. And so I'm not answering your question exactly. Here we go. Senior resident, annual, paid in full, 21.
Wow.
So that was the most. Senior resident, track only, paid in full, 16. So those were the 2 categories with the highest number of memberships.
And can you remind me again, Gina, we talked about an early bird cost savings. What's the deadline on the early bird?
The 15th?
So I know it was mid-January.
15th of January.
Yeah, I'm sorry, let me reference
Please
my,
hold.
yes, the 15th. So on the 16th, the prices go up, but through the 15th, they're at that lower rate.
Thank you.
Did we ever find out anything about Silver Sneakers or that Renew Active?
So we contacted AARP, who is helping us with the Silver Sneakers. And I apologize, I did not get that update for tonight, but I can look into it, and if you'd like, I can email you this week with the information.
No, I mean, after the first year is fine, there's no rush, you got enough on your plate.
Yeah, I know that
But
we were.
I think part of it was, and I thought you had related it to me, is basically we have to have a program to show them.
Right, which we do now. So before I didn't have any fees to share with them.
Right.
But once I went to several board meetings and then we finally got the approval from the board for the fees to charge, we were then able to reach back
So
out.
then we can put that ball in motion.
That's correct. They didn't say anything about the silver sneakers.
I think Silver Sneakers is kind of dissolved in, from the Medicare to the ARP, kind of.
Yes, that's the thing. We had to actually talk with ARP about it, and so
Yeah, because
I
I
know
think
that's,
Silver Sneakers kind of became the unicorn, and then the ARP kind of took over that piece of the puzzle for seniors.
right. And we need to, we would love to be able to be a part of that. I think we had to send them information, and then they were going to get back to us. We can't give really anything away, you know, at no charge. But I believe there is something that we can work out with them for a program, whether that's Silver Sneakers or something else. I'm looking forward to getting that information.
Also, another question. I was approached about free memberships for staff. I was quite embarrassed because as a commission, I don't recall anything ever being talked about. I went back and looked at like our past Parks and Rec meetings and village meetings, and the only indication was trustee Patrick requesting it. So did they get the membership, and was it bundled into the vote on the memberships?
No, it was not bundled into the vote on the memberships. I mean, I was there for the membership vote, and that wasn't part of it. We heard official word, it was a couple weeks after that, correct, Greg?
Well, the board member, trustee Patrick, suggested that we have free memberships to the village employees. And then, then the village manager, that's the direction
So it wasn't
we're
something that
going.
was voted on?
No.
I kind of felt awkward because I'm like, I attend all these commission meetings, I'm like, did I miss something?
We didn't discuss that. It wasn't at that level. Matt and I had talked about it. It was one of the things, you know, in our weeklies, if we
Just
want to do.
a
and-
caveat,
Yeah.
add-on?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I didn't know what this person was talking about, and I'm like, I'm representing Parks and Recreation, and,
It was brought up the first time at the board level.
yeah, okay, then I'm not cracking up.
No.
And can I piggyback on that if I could, please? How many memberships is that from a staff perspective, and what implications do we anticipate from an operations and financial perspective?
Well,
200?
Would be less than 200.
yeah, I'm not sure on the total number of employees. I'd have to double check on that, see how many employees we have.
We have between 125 and 150 full-time, and there's some full-time equivalent.
Permanent part-time.
Yeah.
So I don't, you know,
We wouldn't, just to,
no, go ahead.
we won't know implications, whether it's going to use up the equipment faster, because we don't know how many people will take advantage of it.
Well, and that's a concern that I have. I would have been happier to have discussed it as a commission first. I feel like we're still working through a lot of the issues from an operations and financial perspective. So it would have felt better from my perspective to postpone it a year. I'd be in favor of it. It's not that I'm not in favor of it. I just kind of feel like it's one more piece to the puzzle that could negatively impact the operations and the financial viability of.
Well, this first year is everything's going to, you know, be like a trial anyway, and if we have a lot of staff that are taking advantage of it, it's twofold. I mean, you know, is you want a healthy staff, and you want them to exercise, and you know, then it'll save costs on, you know, medical insurance, and, you know, and missed work and everything, so that there's an incentive for the village to provide that perk to the staff. But then again, if 150 staff members take advantage of, which is a good thing, take advantage of the memberships, what is the impact? And, you know, so we'll have to see where we're at, engage that during the year and see, oh, hey, if 100 people are taking it and, you know, do we tweak that? You know, that's something that the village manager will have to be involved with and say, okay, you know, what, do we keep giving free memberships to the village staff, or do we give them a discount? You know, where are we at with our revenues coming in? You know, if it's jam-packed and it doesn't impact revenues, then,
Well, and I would just like to see it come as an additional budgetary item. I really would be adverse, at least my initial reaction would be to be adverse to taking something away that we gave to them. I would have rather we waited a year and then said, hey, I think we can work this out. If we're going to go ahead and do it, and we do get an overwhelming response, which would be wonderful, then I would like to go back to the village manager and say, we need the additional budget and the additional staff to facilitate what was approved, because it's been wonderful and it's worked out, but it's obviously
Just-
has an operational impact on Parks and Rec.
well, you know, there won't be, if they're using the weight room or if they're using the walking track, there's not going to be a big impact on staffing. They, you know, you know, if
I have no idea.
if they were taking, if one of the perks was to give free weight training, where we have to pay some staff to come in and train them, yes, that's an impact. You know,
No idea.
using the weight room is not going to be an impact. The weights aren't going to, you know, the weights aren't going to deteriorate from 100 extra people using them. The weights are going to be there for years.
And I'm not opposed to it, it's just an unknown variable.
Yeah.
And is this decision a done deal when the board was just trustee Patrick, or is this already voted on by the board or decided by the board? Or is this just an administrative decision?
There wasn't a vote.
But it's happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another question I have, will it help out with our insurance rates for our employees if they are a member to the gym that could have a positive effect?
Well, we'd have to talk to HR on that. I don't know that ramifications. However, if people are getting into an exercise routine and losing weight and their health is better, then yeah, it'll probably impact insurance because you have healthier employees. But just because they're in a weight, if they're working out, doesn't mean, okay, hey, these people are working out, we're going to give you a 5% discount. It's probably based on their overall health,
Yeah, overall.
you know, and you
Question
know.
for Gina on programs. I don't recall, and maybe I'm naive to it, ceramics and soap making, were those ever classes that we had here before? You
No.
said they're new?
They are new. They're new. They're part of our, you know, new rollout in the new building. And I was very excited when staff came to me with specifically with ceramics, because I was joking. I'm like, is someone going to strap a kiln to their back and walk it in? And they actually will take the stuff back with them to fire it and then bring it back. Yes, it's brand new.
So it is new, but back in the 90s, we did have ceramics.
We
Because
did.
we're that mobile.
You're dating yourself.
I am, because I was involved with it. There was where the mobile station is on
Oh,
Addison
yeah, you're right.
and St. Charles. There was a ceramics business there. And so we
I think
contracted.
there's still a ceramics business next to Cuppies, too.
I've never seen it open, but there's this,
He's open like
He's in there
every
all
day,
the
all
time.
day. I took a
Really?
ceramics class there.
probably, I guess I go at the wrong times. I was like, try to look in and see if anybody's,
He's on the weekends, he does a lot of like craft shows and stuff and markets, but
Because
he's
the-
there like Monday through Friday, all day, every
Cool.
day.
You know, maybe down the road, we'll get a kiln.
When we turn the roof terrace into.
Brian's guys will make a kiln for us.
I'm sorry, it's not new as much as it's
It's
a
new.
rebirth.
It's new. It's a new program. It is. It's new.
I mean, I reference my years here too, so you get to, that's only fair. I'm surprised, though, because you did athletics. You were involved with the ceramics? You did everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it was, just
So,
two of
you
us.
know, it's a, well, we're,
We-
yeah.
We did all the
You
programming.
get all that experience.
Yeah, we've grown. The department has grown.
Any other questions before we move on? Excellent. Parks, Building and Grounds, Brian?
All right, thanks. I will try to compete with all of that.
That's very exciting.
Yes,
It's gonna be rough, so.
it will be, yes. Some current and completed projects. The Jefferson Pool liner we're nearly there. Some of the wet weather and some of the colder conditions have had some setbacks with a couple of other project things, but nearly all complete. They're working on some final small items. The recent warm weather has helped out too. They were in over the weekend and stuff like that to try to kind of finish a lot of those things. They have a punch list. We went over a punch list with them. Some minor caulking and other things that they were trying to work out in the end, and some of the finishes. So they're trying to finish up, clean up, and kind of be done and out of the pool this week. Done with that. So we'll continue to follow up with them and make sure that that happens, and happens how we want it to happen. Once they're done, we'll have to fill up the pool with some water, kind of like Lufkin used to be. Once you have a liner in there, you have to support it over the winter, or if the groundwater has a tendency to cause it to float a little bit. So we just have to fill it to kind of help hold it down. So, and then we'll monitor everything for see how it makes it through winter and prior to start up next season and all the seasons beyond. So, Joyful Traditions was also this past weekend on Saturday, and it sounds like everything went well. I tried to be there, but unfortunately couldn't. The kids, we went on the holiday train ride, which was very nice, but the kids, I don't think they would have made it all the way through to the next one. So. Staff were there, though. They were there to help set up before. They worked the event during, helped maintain things, and then helped clean up after. The Prairie Path, we finished decorating the Prairie Path prior to Joyful. All the lights are up on the poles. Everything is very nice and done out there. We'll continue to inspect all the lighting and decor, everything along the path and by the chamber building and gazebo on a weekly basis. And then, as we always do, once the event ends, we try to keep up as much of the lighting on all the light poles as we can, just to kind of keep the pathway lit up. We'll do that as long as we can. We try to do it until about March or so. Just depends on how the lights hold up. And, sometimes we get vandals and kids messing around, so we keep them up and try to consolidate in if we have to, but then we'll keep them up as long as we can. So the new Villa Park Recreation Center, the setup and move in right now is the biggest thing we're working on and our pretty much only priority right now. So working to get ready for a lot of what Greg was playing January 3rd. So a lot of things have been purchased, supplies, decor, some equipment, shelving, racks, custodial supplies. We started moving a lot of things as of today into the building, setting up our storage areas, custodial areas, terrace. There's other deliveries, as Gina mentioned, that are on their way this week. The systems in the facility are all set up as well. So we have, starting tomorrow, pretty much the rest of this week into early next week is just a lot of trainings in the facility and on all the systems. Everything, HVAC, plumbing system, electrical, lighting, fire system, sprinkler system, all of the audio-visual equipment, which I think every room has a different audio-visual setup and things, so hopefully they're pretty much the same. But the kitchen equipment, all of the gym equipment, the elevator, we also set up a security system, which Seems to be a newer version of a lot of the things we have, so it's a little bit more user-friendly, but we can use some other devices, and scoreboards. So scoreboards wasn't part of the project. We installed those separately, so we'll coordinate a separate training for the scoreboard, so. Last week, we worked on a punch list with WB Olson and the architects, got everything to them, and they're working to complete that this week and next. So hopefully by the end of next week, we'll have a functioning facility. We're in a couple of weeks ago, we received a new Kubota RTV. It's like a little four-wheeler with a cab and everything. We got this with a plow. It's got a little V-plow on it. It's got a salt spreader on the back. We got it with, we got another spreader with it, and a sprayer. But the hope was to use that at the rec center on some of the walkways and pavers. Pavers are a little bit more delicate with like big plows and stuff like that, so we don't want to damage them. So this should definitely help us with a lot of that. We can also use it around town in a lot of other places. We use it in my concerts. We only have one, so definitely the other one will help. We do a lot of weed spraying and turf care and stuff like that too, so it'd be nice to have two of them. And then also just showed up today, we have a new Toro baseball machine. So it's been a long time since I think there was a brand new one. I think it was like, I look back, it was like 2003, I think was the one that we had that was actually new, so it's been a while. So this one is, we got a bunch of good attachments. It's Toro that we've had before, it's just a newer version. So the guys are pretty excited to get some training on that in the spring and get it out there, so it should be nice. Upcoming projects after the rec center, obviously, is over at Village Hall. We're looking to create a new IT office on the upper level over there. Current IT staff works out of, it's like a long closet. So we're trying to build them a more appropriate space over there in the upper level. And then at Parks office over where we're at, we're just looking to make some improvements to our restroom. And then we have a break area that needs some TLC, so that's coming up after that. So that's all I have.
I know we got a lot going on this year, but are they doing ice rinks, and would they do them by the pool if they do them?
That's a good question. I guess we haven't really talked about the ice rink, but we try to put it up every year. We used to do it at Lions, obviously where the rec center is now, so we couldn't.
That's not happening.
Right.
And we can't do it at Lufkin. I thought the one year, though, it was by Jefferson Pool in that field.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, we tried, like, the snow banks. If we get enough snow, we push them off to the side and flood that space. I don't know how level it is over there. I know we had some issues. I think you said at Lufkin, the parking lot wasn't level or something like that.
At Lufkin, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had the liner rink, the nice rink it's called, and we tried it at Lufkin one time, and it you can't really tell, but the parking lot is sloped down towards the pond, so that didn't work out. And we also had the liner, we had it over at Cortese one year, which was kind of nice because it was in the middle of town. However, kids are playing hockey over there, and the cars are relatively close. So the hockey pucks, we didn't want hockey pucks, so we decided, we better not put the rink over Cortese. But we did do Jefferson without, I can't recall if we did the rink as well, the nice rink, but we did, the old-fashioned way is put the ice rink right on the grass. But you have to wait till the ground is frozen. And back in the old days, when it was cold from November to end of February, March, you get at least a month and a half of skating. But I think it was it last year or 2 years ago when we did it over at Jefferson, we got the ice up, and then we had a thaw like 2 weeks later. We lost all the water. I think the solution forward, like the plan would be, and Brian and I talked about this in the past, is creating our own hockey rink with the dasher boards. That could be done over at Jefferson in that area. and using a nice rink tarp to hold the water in, and then we'd have a hockey, and then we'd
Yeah,
have,
because I think when it was at Lufkin, they used the tarp.
yeah, that's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about. We
yeah.
use that, it's called the Nice Rink, that's it's a brand name, and we had little dasher boards, and then the tarp goes over, and it holds the water in, but everything was tilted towards the pond, so it didn't really work out too well. It's a little more level over at Jefferson, and so maybe that's the plan moving forward. You know, we can look at, I think it's just an El Nino year, or El Nina. We can look at,
Palmer's Almanac and see
yeah,
what
we can
we're
look
in for.
at what they're predicting. If they're predicting a lot of cold weather, then maybe we'll shoot for that. But
And kudos to Brian, because every year I always look forward to when the lights are up. No matter what season it is, I think our Prairie Path does not compare to any other. I mean, it's beautiful. It is so well maintained. I mean, Elmhurst and Lombard, I'm sorry, but ours is better.
you agree? Yep.
Agreed.
Any other questions before we move on? All right, thank you very much. Craig?
Okay, so, well, I guess the first thing on this list was the 2025 Rec Commission meeting dates and locations. The location, of course, will be at the new rec center. And, you know, I think Zoraida passed out the dates, which are, if everybody's agreeable, keep it the same to Tuesday nights at 7 PM, but it'll be over at the new rec center. So I guess we could do a consensus vote, Sam, if everybody's in agreement to that.
Need a motion, or do we just?
I don't think we need a motion, just a consensus that if everybody's in favor of.
All right. All in favor of keeping the current schedule at 7 PM on Tuesday for next year?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? None
Perfect.
opposed? Okay.
All right. So our
Anybody want to
next-
come back here instead of being in the new building?
No.
So our January meeting will be over at the new recreation center. And we did, one second, Donna, we did ask staff to get some refreshments, a little finger food and stuff, if you guys want to join us afterwards. If everybody's hungry, I'm sure everybody ate, but yeah, you know, snack at 8 o'clock isn't bad.
Right.
And then just a couple of items. So as Brian mentioned about the rec center, you know, the construction is all complete. We're all done. So now we're just doing the checklist. Brian and his staff, we all walk through to pick out, you know, different items like touch-up paint, and you know, Brian noticed that there's the security cameras outside. The wires are hanging. They're not in a conduit or anything. So they're just little items like that need to be completed. So it's not gonna delay us. Gina went and ordered some new furniture. Donna, we are doing 2 open houses for the residents. The first one will be on Saturday, December 28th, from 9 to noon. And the next one will be during the Christmas break, Monday, December 30th, from, I wrote that down, 10 to 1.
Sorry.
You're all right. So this is a chance for residents to come by and walk around the building. We will be open for business January 3rd at 5:30 in the morning. So we'll see you guys there, hopefully. Sam, we'll see you there for sure. And then Gina did mention Commissioner Christine talked about the ribbon cutting, and Matt, village manager Harline, did talk to the legislators, and they're in Springfield on the 3rd. So we really want them to be a part of the ribbon cutting. So we move that ribbon cutting and formal grand opening on January 13th. But we will be open for business for everybody on January 3rd.
What
And-
time is the ribbon cutting?
5:30 will be
So-
the ribbon cutting.
I think what we did, we wanted to try to do it the same as Lufkin.
Yeah.
People came at at
Yeah,
5 o'clock and
right.
walked around, and I think we'll do the same thing and actually cut the ribbon
Yeah,
at
the actual
5:30.
ribbon cutting will be around 5:30 with the speeches and everything, all
Yeah,
that good
and the
stuff.
big scissors, so.
And then people can consult the village website for up to the, yeah, gotta have the big scissors. But
I
people
didn't
can.
mean to contradict you, but I had a meeting with the staff, and they reminded me that it was
Well, and
5
we talked about
5:30.
having, some hors d'oeuvres or some snacks, and we'll probably do that the first week, at least for January 3rd, have some food items, people working out, we'll get them some coffee in the morning, and, give them some donuts so they can come back and work those donuts off the next day. Yeah, we're gonna keep going, feed them and
business
have them work out.
moving, yeah.
Right, take advantage of all those New Year's resolutions. But anyway, Riley will have some more information up on the village website. And just a note, like Brian had mentioned, the pavers, the parking lot pavers, and I thought it was interesting because a couple people, they walk by there and they've kind of commented to me and they've kind of commented to the construction management team. They're very nice pavers, they look great, and people are concerned about the expense of the pavers. Wow, these things, why did the village, spend this much money? Well, in reality, putting the pavers saved the village about $150,000 to $200,000.
I suppose the pouring concrete or,
It was because of the stormwater storage. When we were going through all the discussions about adding parking farther north, right now we have the parking that ends kind of where the building ends on the north side, but we're gonna add more parking. But we don't have enough stormwater storage for the parking and also for the OSLAD grant project that's coming up. So we would have had to put underground storage in if we.
Non-permeable.
If we did the asphalt parking lots, we would have had to put underground storage tanks, which would have been $500,000 with the asphalt. So the permeable pavers, just to get that out there, is saving the village. And we had the engineers, I got that information from about between $150,000 and $200,000.
that's because of the runoff if it was asphalt.
It goes, yep, the permeable just drains right into the ground.
Nice.
The asphalt, you need somewhere for that water to go to. And there's calculations. Brian probably knows better than I about the calculations, but they figure out how much of that asphalt or concrete, whatever, and then you have to make that arrangements for the runoff and the stormwater retention, or detention, actually, so.
Apparently, the residents are very concerned about cost
Yeah.
right now.
So, right,
So-
right. So that was a cost savings. Let's see. Oh, and I did reach out, we've been getting some updates from Hacienda Landscaping for the OSLAD project. So they're doing all their documents, construction documents for the playground and the trellis and all that. So they're submitting all that stuff to Upland Design. And I don't have a timeline on when they're going to start, but they'll probably start sometime in the springtime, so. That's all I have.
Couple of questions. What will our process be for getting into the Parks and Rec building when we have our meetings? We just check in at the front desk, say we're here for a Park and Rec's meeting?
Yeah, you can check in at the front. Though there's some talk if we have some bigger meetings, we're going to have those meetings right off of the first floor. In the summertime, we may have those doors open so people can just walk in, not have to check in the front desk, but you can check in. In the winter, we'll have you check in because of it.
And another thing that I had, that I'm kind of going to traffic and safety about was a crosswalk on Ardmore from Van Buren to the park, so people don't have to walk to Jackson to cross, because there's a lot of kids. Are we going to have any of those ballards that say, like, traffic must stop when pedestrians are in the crossways? Are we gonna have painted crossways from, like, where the W.B. Olson trailer is to the rec center, that intersection?
We could talk to Public Works about that and see if there's a need for it, yeah.
Because I think there's gonna be a lot of traffic on Wildwood between the cars coming in the Union, the cars going down Wildwood to access the center, and then heading south and going west. I think it's
That's something we can
necessary.
do an assessment of, see how it goes. And
Yeah, because I'm in the process of working with traffic and safety about the one at Lufkin. And then someone said, well, did they put that in the plans for the new rec center? And I said, geez, I don't think it ever really crossed anyone's mind.
Yeah, we'd have to,
I mean, we don't need the blinking lights and anything,
No.
but I think just those cones and paint the sidewalk, the crosswalk yellow.
yeah. You know, that whole street, I think if the other
Union.
building goes in, I think that whole street needs to be repaved, because it's,
It's a mess.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
the Tri-Trail project is gonna create a crosswalk too to the rec center, so that.
So
that-
then that
that's-
might be where
That,
the,
Yes.
that south,
Good
was it
point.
the south side of the street right there has like on-side parking. That's all gonna go away and become that tri-trail pathway. So it'll just be a two-lane street, and then they'll have a crosswalk that will go to the rec center side. So there will be a depressed curve.
so it'd
there
be
and
like at the
cross-
west end of where the Union project's gonna end.
Correct.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah, there will be a crosswalk there, yeah.
excuse-
Just a question regarding the open houses on the 28th and the 30th. I'm not familiar with what might be going on still at this location, since we're not formally open yet at the new building. Do you need volunteers to help facilitate those open houses on the 28th and the 30th, or are you guys good?
Yeah, we'll take a look at it. We always,
Janet
We
might
don't-
have senior stuff, I don't know
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
got what.
We-
Gina,
we,
you probably know.
we never want to turn away volunteers, so, especially if, like at those open houses, same thing, we'll have some food and beverages and maybe we have people directing where their concession area is, but people can freely walk around and just check out the different locations, and we're hoping to have, the instructors that are teaching in some of the rooms, but people are free to walk around and look at everything.
And there was a 28th, 9 to noon, and the 30th, 10 to 1.
Saturday, yep, and then Monday, yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Moving on to unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business? No? Okay. Any new business for tonight? No new business? Wow. And that would bring us to commissioner comments. Christine, would you like to start?
Sure. I would like to go on the record tonight and state that formally I am not in favor of the proposed tax freeze. The negative implications to our 2025 Parks and Recreation budget have the potential to be significant. And therefore, for that reason and several others, I am not in favor of that proposed tax freeze. And happy, healthy, safe holidays to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ryan, is that next?
I'm just excited for the new building. See you guys next year, and probably before then, but yeah.
Hopefully on the 28th or the 30th.
I'll see you there on one or both of those days. Yeah, happy holidays, everyone.
I have nothing. Happy holidays.
I'm very, very excited that this is coming to fruition, so, and happy holidays, everyone.
I'd like to make a comment. I'm going to beat Mike Storino to our last time I can say in this building, another great meeting.
My turn?
Yeah.
Sure.
To see everyone next year in the new building.
And another great meeting.
At January 3rd, they'll be opening for the first time at 5 AM. So I'll meet you there?
5:30.
5:30? So I'll meet you there,
You'll meet Gina there.
Gina?
Brian, closer to his start time.
All right, I'll show up at 9. Okay. No, just very excited for like everyone else, the building to finally be open and to see it soon. So that's fantastic. And wish everyone happy holidays before I see you next. Thank you. Thank you. Village Board Liaison comments.
Yeah, two things. Number one, the budget hasn't been approved yet. The budget will be up for approval next Monday, so it's about a week out. We have to figure out if we're gonna pass a tax levy, which that's just the first piece, and then the budget. So if the tax levy doesn't get passed, then there's gotta be about $311,000 cut in the budget for next year. If it does get passed and everything's fine, and then the budget will be the second thing. Next week is the last week that we have to do it before we all just take off for holidays. So it'll be an interesting meeting to see how it goes one way or the other. Second thing is, I have my little black, I don't know what you would call it.
Folio.
Binder. And I was flipping through it today, and this is the one I would bring every Tuesday for the last, 9 years. So I found my first meeting, the notice of meeting, where new businesses welcome new commissioners, and I was on there. So done a tremendous amount of time in this room, in this building, and it's really fun to be able to put the very last one that I'm going to be participating in, because we're going to be going into a building that's brand new to the community. So in here, as I pull through and kind of look at some of these from years and years and years ago, because these are all the agendas. You got feasibility study for Villa Park Recreation Development. It goes all the way back. Here's 2018 talking about the rec center. Here's, just flipping through some of these is kind of funny because you have Cortese Veterans Memorial Park update. That was 2016 that we were there. So this is like a little flashback of who was part of this since the very beginning. I say the very beginning of my time here. So it's pretty cool to just kind of look at it. So I'll be zipping this up and it'll just go into my little, my little box. So looking forward to this. A lot of time in this room here, and obviously you guys have put in a lot of extra time over the years, and a lot of volunteers here. So looking forward to the ribbon cutting. Hopefully I'll be there on the 3rd. I'll probably be the 4th. But yeah, this is exciting. This is a lot of time and effort. So thank you guys all, and this is gonna be a lot of fun.
Thank you. Moving on to the village staff comments.
I would like to, of course, thank all of you for the support. The date felt like it would never get here after we just, went forward and accepted the grant, and it's been a whirlwind, and it seems like it was just yesterday when we were starting out. I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank the rec division staff for the work that they did behind the scenes in being ready to open on January 3rd, and it was a lot of, it was a labor of love, I believe, but it was a lot of extra things that went into what they were doing on their job, in addition to, putting out the programs and so forth. We had 2 staff went out and got certified in food service management. We were required to have at least 1 because of the type of kitchen we had, and I asked if 2 would do it because, there's a lot of hours that the building is open, and they did that and added it into all the other things that they do. Staff that have done research as it relates to fitness and athletics and trying to grow that area. The staff that works in the office here and in the Parks office have been extremely helpful at, getting, little things that seem small but are kind of seem big to us because of everything else that's happening. Zoraida is only been with us a short time, She put together, you know, our little snack for tonight. You know, Kathy and Judy in our office, extremely helpful, and everybody's preparing to move. So I just, you know, we don't really talk about the folks that aren't here very much, but, you know, without all of them, this would have been very, very difficult to do. So thank you to all of them. And of course, my coworker Brian, and my favorite boss of all time, Greg. That's all.
Just looking forward to completing this rec center and getting everybody in there to start using it. And happy holidays. Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, Gina took the words out of my mouth with, as far as all the other staff behind the scenes. They deserve a lot of credit. I know when we had the groundbreaking back in the fall of 2023, I believe it was.
August.
August, yeah.
I was in a cast, so it was
Yeah.
the end of, beginning of September,
Well,
September, October.
Poor Gina, because once that groundbreaking happened, I was on her about getting programs and getting the staff ready to go, and so it's been a busy year for sure. And we're just starting, you know, the programs, you know, will continue to grow throughout. And I think the residents are going to be happy. I wish the building were a little bigger, but what are you going to do? But I think it's a nice facility for the residents. Hopefully see y'all at the open houses, because it's nothing against this building, but I was walking down the hallway here, and I was at the building today, walking down the hallways over there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's such a, and the dance room, you know, it's just like, oh my God, the kids are gonna love dancing in there, and it's just, it's gonna be really, really neat. So, but thanks to all the staff. When the construction was happening, you know, it was kind of fun to see, but as we got closer and closer to the complete construction, that's when all of a sudden, you know, the pressure started, you know, we got to start getting, you know, all our stuff together. And so it's been really busy the last couple of months, and I'll be glad when we're just open for business, you know, get that all taken care of. So, so thank you everybody for your support. It's been a real good project, and like George mentioned, you know, back in 2018 when we started some discussions, 6 years ago or so. It's kind of neat to see it's come to fruition, and see everybody's hard work come together and have a nice building. So happy holidays, everybody. Appreciate all your support. Thank you.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? None opposed? We are adjourned.